Hi honeys, I'm Hollie Wakeham and you're watching Make Me Up, where each week we're going to be doing a celebrity inspired makeup look. This week I'm going to be showing you how to create a Victoria's Secrets look. Okay honeys, so to create the flawless foundation that all the Victoria's Secrets models have, I've already prepped and primed the face and I'm now going to be applying my high definition Makeup Forever Flawless Foundation. This is going to make sure that it doesn't look cakey but it's still got good coverage. So what we want to do is we just want to buff this into the skin in circular motions, making sure that you're applying this nice and evenly and in any little nooks and crannies on the face. We're just going to take the foundation just a little shade darker just to make the skin look a little more bronzed. Okay, so now we're going to conceal all the redness and blemishes. I'm going to be using a fluffy concealer brush and my Ben Nye concealer wheel. All of the Victoria's Secret models have got flawless skin, so you just want to really conceal only the areas that do need concealing. If you start putting concealer all over the face, it's going to look cakey and unnatural. Okay, so I'm also going to take that concealer under the eyes to hide any bags or dark circles. And I'm taking this a few shades lighter than the skin colour, just to lift and illuminate the face. So you want to go from the inner corner of the eye, down the side of the nose, and from the side of the nose to the outer corner of the eye, creating sort of like a triangle shape. We're then going to take our foundation brush again and just buff that out, just so there's no harsh lines or edges. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So now onto blusher. I'm going to be using Coralista by Benefit. It's a beautiful coral shimmery colour which just looks really youthful. We're going to swirl the brush into the product, tap out the excess and then apply to the apples of the cheeks. So just in little soft sweeping motions, just applying the blusher. It just looks flushed and just pretty and natural. It's not too harsh. Okay, so now we're going to go on to just slightly contouring the cheekbones, just ever so slightly. And for this, I'm going to be using my Laura Geller Contour and Highlighting Powder. So it's a very flat colour, just like a natural shadow is on the face. And then just underneath the blusher, where the natural shadow hits the cheek, we're just going to slightly add that contour. Okay, so now what we're going to do is just add slight powder all over the face because we're going to add a highlight. So we're going to be using MAC Mineralize Skin Finish in Natural, and this just matches the model's skin colour. So we'll just matte the areas that we want to, which is around the nose, over the lips, on the chin and the forehead. And we can just buff over slightly over the eye because your eye creates quite a lot of oils. Okay, so now we're going to add our highlighter. I'm going to be using the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish. This time this is the highlighting one. This is in the colour Soft and Gentle. Okay, so we're going to add this literally on the cheekbone area here. So just taking your time, just sweeping that down, adding that beautiful, beautiful highlight. And whilst we're there, we're going to add a little bit to the brow bone as well. So bringing that almost in a C curve like so. So now we're going to go on to eyes, and I'm going to conceal all the eye area using my Benefit Stay Don't Stray Eye Concealer. And then we're going to take this all over the eyelid from the lash line up to the brow bone, making sure everything's concealed. And then do the same on the other side. Okay, so now we're going to go on to making the eyeshadows. So I'm going to be using Cork by MAC, which is this colour here. Now we're just going to add this to the crease. So if you add this in where the socket of the eye is and just slightly buff backwards and forwards, applying your product, then you want to make sure that this is buffed out and there's no harsh lines or edges. So with the Victoria's Secrets look, they use a lot of makeup but natural colours. That's how they get that beautiful, flawless look. So you just want to make sure that you build it gradually. Okay, so now we're going to take a nice white shimmery pearly colour in the inner corners of the eyes. For this I'm going to be using Fresh Minerals makeup. This is a mineral makeup, so it's completely natural, but it's got a really beautiful sheen without being too sparkly. We're now going to add this on the inner corner, and we're just going to pat this down. Okay, so that's done on the inner corner, almost to the pupil. I'm now going to go in with this beautiful peach shimmery colour. It's also by Fresh Minerals. And now we're going to go from the outer corner of the eye into the middle. Okay, so now on to the liquid eyeliner. For this, I'm going to be using MAC. This is the liquid eyeliner in Boot Black. And starting from the outer corner, slightly wing it. The Victoria's Secret models aren't massive on their flicks, but it just slightly emphasises the almond shape of the eye. Okay, so now the eyeliner's done, we're going to go on to brows, and for this I'm going to be using a Rimmel eyebrow pencil. We're going to create a really soft, natural yet defined eyebrow. So all we're going to do is run this through the brows, still with the same shape that we've got so it doesn't look too false, just a little more defined and perfected. So taking the mascara brush, we're just going to blend this through the brows. This just helps to soften and evenly distribute the product through the eyebrow. Okay, so that's the first one done. We're now going to just mimic exactly the same on the other side, making sure that they both look equal. You always get your brows, they're always going to be different on each side, they're never the same. Okay, so now onto the lips. The Victoria's Secret models have a really beautiful pink lip. So for this we're going to be using the Cremesheen in Shy Girl, and this is a MAC colour. So for that professional look, we're going to be applying this with a lip brush. These are really handy to use, and it's how you get a beautiful Cupid's bow. Okay, so over the top of our lipstick we're going to add a gloss. This is a lip balm. This is by MUA Cosmetics. These were brought out by Alexandra Burke and I absolutely love them. So all we're going to do is just using our lip brush again, we're just going to pop this all over the lips just to give them an extra pop of sheen. Okay, so now all we're going to do is curl our eyelashes. I'm going to be using the TWEEZERMAN eyelash curlers. So a good top tip for this is, when you're curling your eyelashes, look all the way forward. I'm going to lift up the eye slightly. When the eyelashes are in place, we're going to clamp them shut and count for 5 seconds. Okay, so while you're clamping, if you push your TWEEZERMAN eyelash curlers into your eye, that way you're not going to pull out your lashes and you're not going to get scared. Now we're going to add lashings of mascara. For this I'm going to be using my Makeup Forever Smoky Eyes. This is perfect for creating a dramatic smoky eye look with your eyelashes. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our thumb or your finger and we're going to lift the eyelid up. This is going to stop any mascara getting on the eyelids and ruining all that beautiful work we've just done. And you're going to wiggle in at the root of the lash and then flick the brush up. Now we're going to add some of the mascara on the bottom lashes, and you want to pull the bottom lashes in the middle straight down. This way you're going to make the eye look bigger and the lashes are going to fan out more. Okay, so now our mascara's dried, I'm going to be adding our false lashes. So you want to place the lash on the middle first, and then you can pop your 2 ends down. And then you just want to hold that in place just for a few seconds till it's dry. Then all you want to do is taking your finger and thumb, you just want to pinch the natural lash with the false lash just to merge it together. Okay, so we're nearly done. We're just going to add a beautiful bronze shimmer to the skin. For this I'm going to be using the Fake Bake bronzer. It's a beautiful bronze colour, very sheer but very shimmery. So this is just going to highlight the face and just make it look extra goddess and dewy like. I'm going to be using a fan brush by Crown, and this is just going to evenly distribute a light texture of product over the face because you don't want it to be too heavy still. Okay honey, so that's our completed look for the Victoria's Secret model. We've got flawless skin with bronze chiseled cheeks, a beautiful highlighter and coral cheek with fluttery eyelashes and a pink lip. Okay honey, so don't forget you can comment below this video if there's any celebrity inspired looks you'd like me to create or make me up, and we'll see you next week in another video. Bye!